Hi everybody, it's Gail from Gail's Bookish Things. I have a current favorite pen and ink combination. It is this Taccia Suchi, or in English, Golden Wheat. This is inked in my Bennu Euphoria. This is a broad nib, and this is the Armenian Baklava. So this is just an awesome combination. I don't know if the shading is coming through here, but it is really wonderful to write with. This is on the Endless Regalia, and I just smeared it because I just wrote this, but I could write with this for hours. I was very happy with this, and I was thinking I really don't need to order another ink like this because this can't be any more perfect. However, I became intrigued and had been actually, before I even came upon this, I had my eye on the KWZ honey ink and kind of played around with that, had it in my cart a few times as a sample at Van Ness Pens, and then just came across this. So I got this instead because it said it's a wet flow. Every review I read was very favorable, and so it just didn't seem like I needed to look further upon finding that. Here's my new box. But the other day I was thinking about it, and I thought, well, it really is fun to do these comparisons, and I do like sharing ink samples, so it seemed like a good idea to give this a whirl. I had seen it talked about on a couple YouTube channels, and it just piqued my curiosity again. It kind of brought that back to the surface. This honey color also is supposed to be scented. One place I read it smells like honey, another said it smells like vanilla. It's a nice size bottle for sure. This is an ink that is made in Poland. I'm not sure that I have any others. I may have sampled this brand before, but I would have to check my notes because it's getting to be where there's just too many things. Okay, let me take this off and I'll be right back. That was a little squeaky to make you have to watch and listen through. I'm not sure how full these are. Let's see how carefully I can do this. Okay, now I can't get the jar open. Okay, there we go. I have a feeling this is going to be messy. I have a towel handy. So it's to like the bottom of the rim, the little twisty things. It does have a nice scent. It does smell like vanilla. So that's pleasant. I don't really get the significance of scented inks necessarily. I just thought that sounded fun. I do like honey and bee themed things though. And I do love this golden brown, amber, sepia. Could have all kinds of names, but golden wheat seems to define that well. So let me put this in a pen and then we'll give it a try and we'll see how it compares to the golden wheat, and we'll see if how close they are to being similar, and then we'll have one more ink to throw in the mix. I'm back and I have made a mess. Officially, I've gotten ink on my fingers. Sometimes I wear rubber gloves or vinyl, those like really thin vinyl gloves. It's a good idea because I can't seem to manage not to get ink all over myself. So I thought this would be pretty in my TWSBI Diamond 580. It just seemed like the colors kind of were compatible. Not that that really matters, but sometimes it's fun. So let's just go ahead and write about the ink like I did up here. This is the KWZ ink, and it's called Honey. No other names to it that I can tell. This is a handmade fountain pen ink, it says on the jar. And I think this was, 60 milliliters. It was a pretty good deal. I got this from Van Ness. The shipping is, you know, kind of what runs things up. It wasn't too bad, but I think it was about 15 without shipping. So anyway, let's see. This is in the TWSBI Diamond 580 in my usual broad favorite nib size. And this is what? This doesn't have a color. I guess it's just the smoke rose gold. I really like this pen. I could probably get rid of most of my TWSBIs and be okay if I could keep this one in my TWSBI vac. But anyway, beside the point again. So let's compare these two. First of all, this does have a wet flow. I like that. No problems writing on this regalia paper. Don't know if it's showing up for you. There is definitely shading here, but I feel like it's more subtle than the shading I get with the golden wheat. The golden wheat light points are almost the standard color for this honey, which kind of makes sense because honey isn't usually this deep. It's more of a honey color, more of an amber color versus a brown and an amber. So it's different enough. I mean, they're quite comparable. I do like the shading quality a little bit better on the golden wheat. And as this sits, it seems like the shading element is less apparent. I don't remember if the Van Ness website said if it was a shader or not. I just always enjoy that when it does do that. But it's really nice and wet. So I'm just writing just to try it out, but less apparent shading than with Taccia Golden Wheat. Very, very wet though, and it feels really nice on the paper. Oh, I think this is going to be a good contender. It'll be nice to have these inked up at the same time. I can write back and forth and just get a better feel for what a more accurate comparison is. But first impressions, very nice. If I had received this first, I would be happy with it. But I'm still going to rank this a little higher. Yes, so my friend Marcy over at Marcy Me sent me this sample of Sailor 50 States. This is the Texas one. Recently, I've heard a lot of people say that Sailor inks tend to be dry. I don't have a lot of experience with Sailor inks. There's a lot of colors that I see that appeal to me. The dry element though, when I hear that it's dry, I just probably don't really want to use it. But I thought the other day that I'd go ahead and ink this up because I wanted to compare it with the Golden Wheat. They seem like they would be similar when you see a swatch. And then of course this is in a TWSBI Eco 1.1. Transparent orange. So this seems more orangey, or more of a, maybe you could say a rust tone, or copper even. Maybe it would be good to compare it to Ancient Copper. That's not a bad thought, actually. These are probably my order of preference, but I do like all three of them. They are ever so different. This one noticeably more different. As this dries, I'm seeing more shading showing up. Right there, at the beginning of the G and the W. And depending on the paper, I think I get even more shading with the Taccia Suchi. Kind of more brown tone, maybe a little more amber and maybe you could say a little more red. All three very nice on this paper and with the pens I selected. So thank you, Marcy, for sharing your samples with me, and thank you for watching. I hope this is a little bit informative or interesting to you as you investigate ink and pen combinations for yourself. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon. Take care.